Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you heard, my name's Robyn and I'm going to be talking about gender equality. What I'm going to say will not be a complaint about oppression in society, but rather the argument that men and women are not yet equal. Before we continue, we must establish the difference between gender and sex. We are either born male or female. This is our sex. We did not choose it and we cannot change it. Sexual equality is not gender equality. Since 1975, sexual equality has been law. Sexual equality is fact. Gender equality is different. We can choose at any age which sex we choose to associate ourselves with, and thus our gender. We can decide whether we want to be recognised as a male or a female, live as a male or a female, see ourselves as a male or a female. However, through social conditioning and historical traditions, we've been led to believe that if we do not conform to the gender that our sex typically represents, then we run the risk of social condemnation. Gender inequality is still a problem today, even if we do not realise it. Furthermore, gender is not a set of fixed categories, but rather a spectrum onto which we will have our own personal stance. Surely then, if it is such a wide scale and such a personal experience, then we cannot judge someone for having a different opinion on something that is so subjective to us all. For example, those who do not associate their gender with the sex that they were born with. What do we call the physically weak and emotionally sensitive man? We call him a wimp. We call him a pussy. What do we call the short-haired lorry-driving woman? We call her butch. We call her a ball breaker. Why does inhibiting traits that only exist stereotypically affect on our social status? We do not allow ourselves to be who we wish to be in public because we are afraid of being socially different. We cannot achieve equality unless things change. Fortunately, we do live in a country that has started to question this. Men are midwives and women are welders. Everyone's gone to show that regardless of your sex or your gender, you can be capable and successful of anything. We will not achieve gender equality unless we look at where we use social conditioning in everyday lives, be it intentional or unintentional. Whether or not we realise it, we use social conditioning on our children from their youngest ages. For example, the possibility of gender equality in the stories you tell to them are the same as the stories themselves, fiction. We know how it goes. The prince rescues the princess. The princess doesn't get her chemistry PhD and blow the doors down, dancing off into the sunset singing "I Will Survive." No, we put her always at the prince's mercy. We leave him to save her instead of her standing up and showing the world that she is every bit as capable as he is. We cannot tell our children these stories at their most impressionable and expect them to grow up and show each other equal respect and treatment. We need to teach our sons and daughters that they are heroes and heroines alike, little boys and little girls both aspiring to be their own heroes. We could not achieve gender equality when the rules were different, but those rules have changed. Now it's our turn. If we stop telling men to be tough and women to be delicate, if we tell people to be themselves, be Joe, be Dave, be Aisha, be Alex, instead of being a man or a woman. To be equal, we must be recognised as equal. We must live as equal. We must treat each other as equal. If we take down the barriers, then we stop becoming candidates in categories and start becoming people. Then and only then, gender equality will be fact. Thank you.